Yeah, we're back live now. You can see the police officers here lining Howard Street right at the intersection with Camden. That is Baltimore City police officers, along with officers who have been brought in from Montgomery County to support. Earlier, we saw pretty tense confrontation with the protesters really in the faces of these officers. Now it appears the protesters have begun to back off. I heard some of them saying they're talking about going to the Western District. That's obviously a possibility, but you don't know exactly where they're going. At this point, many of them have started walking north, which would be the right direction if indeed they are going to walk toward the Western District. That's where they would go. For now, we still have a number of officers still lining this street here, Howard Street, right outside of Oriole Park to Camden Yards. There's also a number of officers still monitoring barricades in the stadium, closing off some of the entrances that people would normally use to get into the Orioles game, which is supposed to start within about 20 minutes here. But right now, as you can see, it's thinned out considerably since last time we talked. A lot of those protesters have started to back off, and they have talked about possibly making their next stop the Western District Police Station, which is one of the areas where this whole thing started with the death of Freddie Gray some 2 weeks from about a week ago. So, as you can see now, looking north on Howard Street, you can see those protesters, the group, starting still walking north toward Pratt Street and eventually across Pratt Street. A number of these streets are closed down as the protesters walk through. 10 minutes ago, that entire group was right here at the corner at the intersection with Camden Street in the face of all these Baltimore City and Montgomery County police officers who have now taken up a line right at the crosswalk at Camden Street as the protesters mostly head north toward and across Pratt Street. So an amazing scene out here right outside Oriole Park at Camden Yards on the night of the Orioles were going to play the Red Sox. And a number of those protesters at that City Hall rally talked about shutting it down, talked about coming to the Orioles game. That's exactly where they came directly after the rally was over. That horn you hear is the light rail, which has been blocked now for several minutes with protesters on the tracks, which will of course run right along Howard Street. Now the train is safe to go, so it's going. So once again, a tense situation out here about 10 minutes ago. Things appear to be pretty much back to normal, except for that huge line of police officers crossing Howard Street. Not what you'd normally see, but certainly a lot quieter than we saw a few minutes ago.